Hey everybody, I wanted to start this video with you to show you how you can start a free newsletter and why you should start one regardless what your end goal is, okay? So I have this newsletter called Simple Salesforce. I started this in February of 2022, and the reason I wanted to start it is so that I could add more value to the people that choose to follow me on social media. As you may know, on my side of things, I post a lot on social media. I try to use those channels, I should say, to kind of bring me more job opportunities or more opportunities in general, whether they're for a full-time job, a consulting gig, paid promotions, working with other influencers, whatever it is. Those have almost 99% of them have stemmed from me posting online and creating those opportunities. So a newsletter is another asset for me to put out and do that thing. Okay, but there's a second side to it that we'll get to later in this video. Before we jump to that, I want to show you what one I chose for my newsletter and how easy it is for you to do the exact same thing. So I chose a platform called Revu, and Revu is owned by Twitter. And the reason I actually found it and wanted to use it is because I jumped on Twitter and I'm trying to build up my account this year, and something I started seeing was this little guy here. Is I would go to somebody's account and they would have this thing pop up. I was like, hey, that's super cool, because one, if I didn't know who the person was, it added all this authority, because they'd be like, oh, well, I got 10,000 subscribers, right? Like if you go and look at, I don't know, there's, I think Ali Abdal, sometimes they have them turned on and off. Like he has his turned off, but he is stating he has 140,000 people that follow him, which is insane. And here you only see 208,000. His YouTube has like 3 million or so. So when you pass by this, it automatically adds authority of like, man, 140,000 people follow him on this thing. Like, what is that thing all about, right? So that's what I started seeing, and that's the reason I wanted to create one of these, another place that I could add value to my following. So when they do the same thing here, they can see 3,000, almost 4,000 people follow me, and you can quickly subscribe right here. So it makes it super easy for them to do that. So that was one reason I wanted to use it. Second reason I wanted to use it is it's really easy for the person that signs up for it to get signed up and know what to expect. I wouldn't say it's a super robust tool. It's pretty simple and straight to the point of like what you can do within the newsletter. And that's kind of the reason I like it as well. You don't have to get so fancy. It keeps you more grounded. Especially when I first started, there's so many different options out there that this made me really not feel intimidated to get started and just start producing a newsletter and get it out there to my following. So I liked it for that reason. You can also come over here as the user, right? And if you really wanted, I have my links going to this page. So they can come in here and they could literally just click into these if they wanted and read this for free and never subscribe. And the point for me is I'm not so obsessed with this number. Yeah, I want it to be as high as I can, because that means if I ever, get kicked off Twitter or LinkedIn or whatever, I have this following over here that I can still get connected with. So that's a big important part for me. The other side though is I'm just trying to get more value in my name and what I offer out there. So regardless if you sign up or not, they're getting pushed over to this page. And just like a Netflix type of idea, you could literally binge 33 issues here, right? And go through 33 issues that I've put out and read through them for free. There's no cost or anything. And so that gives people a preview of like what I'm about, how I talk, how I teach, whether they like me or not. And all those things are eventually going to lead to developing a better relationship with my following that we're going to talk about in just a sec here. So that's another cool piece. On the back end, this is what it looks like. So you come in here, like I said, really straight and to the point. You add some text. You add your paragraphs in there. I keep mine really short, less than 5 minutes to read. So I'm not going super in depth, but I try to find a topic that I can give a quick actionable tip on and add that in here. You can add links. You can add YouTube videos, images, tweets. So pretty simple, right, to use. You can edit your title up here. So really easy to get this all set up and write it every single Saturday for myself. You can leave this. You can go into your issues, and these are all my issues, right, from the past. I can see my open rate, clicks rate, and this really helps guide me on like what people might be interested in, right? When you see something like, let's see if we can pick a higher one, 65% is really high. So, okay, cool. What did I talk about? Well, I talked about automating Salesforce through 4 free tools. So it could have been maybe this subject line that really caught people's attention and wanted to click into it. It could have been the actual content that was in there. So the cool piece is, right, you get some basic stats here to understand what people are doing, their behavior, so that you can try to make your newsletters better as you go, would be the idea. If you click into one of these, you can hit analytics and it will tell you, hey, here's how many people clicked, here's how many have opened it so far, how many subscribers you sent it out to, who unsubscribed, all that stuff, and what links were the most clicked links, who opened it the most, what feedback people may have given you. So once again, some basic stuff that you can kind of understand the behavior of your audience, which is great. Your subscribers, pretty straightforward here, nothing really to review with you, but you do get to see all those. You can also click insights and it gives you more of like an overall view. So your overall, for me, is 55% as an open rate over 33 issues in half a year, which I think is great. Your click rate, your trends. So really, like I said, not the most robust, but definitely a place where you can get some good insights and get off the ground and get started. All 100% free, doesn't cost you anything, which is great. So that's kind of the whole idea behind Revu, okay? Now, more importantly, I want to talk about why I'm doing this and why you should do it too. Well, when you look at this little chart here, this does a really good job of telling us what somebody is going to go through to get to an end goal. So regardless if you're like me and you're trying to sell a course, or you're just trying to get a job, or you just want more YouTube subscribers, whatever your end goal is, the person you're trying to convince to do that thing has to go through this process. So it does not have to be them purchasing something necessarily. It just means that they go through this process as they try to figure out whether you are a good source for what they want, right? So if I am a person that is trying to get a job, well, a recruiter is going to go through this process to some degree, right? They may not purchase, but what they're going to decide at the end here is whether or not they offer me a job. And so as you do these things, it increases that value that you provide and makes this process easier for people to decide on that end goal that you have for yourself. So for me, mine specifically for the newsletter was, I knew I wanted to offer a course this year. I'm now offering a course. And so mine was actually to get people to ultimately buy. And what I want them to buy for is so that I can have a deeper relationship and offer people who progress down this funnel and want that option, that they have it available. So if you notice, you might be on LinkedIn and you might be trying to generate jobs or get people to buy something, or YouTube subscribers, whatever we talked about. And if you do not offer this funnel, if you just offer, hey, I'm just going to post on LinkedIn and that's all I do, or I'm going to post on Twitter and that's all I do. Okay, yes, you do drive some awareness, but what else are you trying to drive for your following, right? Do they have anything else they can look at? Is there any other way that they can create a connection with you so that follower can support you for a longer period of time? If you think of people that have come and gone, it's usually because they stay at this top tier, right? They have maybe cool posts, but then eventually you get bored of those and that's all they ever offer, and you can't do anything else to build a relationship with that person. So it's super important to build this funnel out regardless of what you do. If we take the other example, since that one might be more geared towards you, of trying to find a job and a recruiter, well, a really big way this has paid off for me by posting on LinkedIn and offering a newsletter and having a blog site and YouTube videos like you're watching is because I do a great job at this, which then leads people into consideration, conversion, loyalty, advocacy, right? Is I do all these things well, and as you offer more long form content like what we're doing now, this allows them to get a better understanding of who you are, how you speak, what you really offer to people, and whether or not they're going to get along with you for the job. Is the job a good role for you, right? So the more I can offer this long form content, including a newsletter, it shows more of your competencies. It shows more of, do you actually know your stuff, right? You can't really do that in a tweet. You can't really do that in a LinkedIn post, but you can do that in a newsletter. And you can do that in YouTube videos and all that. So that's why I offer those things, right? So it brings you down this funnel. and eventually gets them to that end goal, which if that's to get a job, it's going to be a lot easier if you do that. So posting a newsletter once a week on Saturdays has been super helpful for me to do that, and doesn't really take a ton of time to do, maybe an hour or so, and I get it out the door. People get value out of it, and it gives me an opportunity outside of LinkedIn, outside of social platforms, to really express myself and break things down the way I would to them. So anyways, that's kind of a little synopsis here for you. Hopefully that's super helpful as you go through this. And just remember this funnel. And the platform, once again, is Revu. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up or comment below, and I'll get back to you.